Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Catch Up with Mayo, as I call it. I love that title. You never know where your camera's going to be when you start, so I want to bring it down a little bit anyway. How's that? All right. Well, hi, everybody. It's morning here. It's a little after 10 a.m., about 10:15 a.m. on a Sunday morning, and I just want to see what's going on, say hello to everybody, and let's do a Q&A. If there's anything to ask, I mean, how many questions can people have, after a period of time? You don't know if you're going to get new people that have never, you know, participated before. Hello, we got EKR. Hello, what's going on? So, everybody out there, I have one question to ask you all. What's on your so called minds? Let's go. Christopher, hello. Yeah, I mean, anything goes really with these, anything except politics, really. And religious stuff, the usual ones, you know the deal. Gonna use a little etiquette when we do these kinds of discussions. So how's everybody doing out there today? What's the weather like by you? Over here, man, I'm looking outside the window and the trees are flying all over the place. This is May, for God's sake. This is crazy. We're talking about every year this happens. It gets to be April and it's still cool. Supposed to be spring, right? And May as well. May comes and it's freezing out there. It's not right. Spring. Okay, let's see. EKR wants to know, do you think I'm gonna show this because it has a show and a high. This is Crate Digger Tats, my friend Mike. He's in my record store videos, great guy. And yeah. It's a random array of fucking wind outside. Yeah, I know. So anyway, EKR is asking, do you think there comes a new McCartney archive release this year? I certainly do. It's been shown in the latest McCartney tour book, which I don't have. By the way, that's news. People are going to be asking me this. Finally got tickets to see Paul on June 16th. Going to see Paul McCartney in MetLife Stadium in New Jersey on June 16th. I'm just going with my friend Robert S., who comes on here sometimes as Rob Scior video. So yeah, we're going, and the seats are in nosebleed seats. We went nosebleed. I love people who say, the tickets are just too expensive to see Paul. They say that we paid. It's $134 plus. It's about $75 service charge. So for $200, you can see Paul. You're not going to be on the floor right in front of him, but you can get in the stadium for $200. I mean, you don't have to pay $1,000. I don't know where people get that. I'm sorry, but anyway, back to what EKR was asking about. Do you think there comes a new McCartney archive release this year? There definitely will, because in the McCartney tour book, somewhere in there, it says there's more archive releases coming. It doesn't say which archive is going to be, but definitely we're going to be getting archive releases. The series is going to continue. Now, just my guess is London Town, because I really love Back to the Egg, the 1979 Wings album, and that's the one that I really, really want, really badly. It's one of my favorite albums of Paul's, and it's not played out. So many of the albums are tired, played out, fatigued, but I'm really, really anxious to get the Back to the Egg album. But there's rights problems, supposedly, reportedly. There's a lot of different musical artists that play on the Rockestra tracks, and because of that, it's supposedly that's the holdup. So I'm just guessing. Nothing is firm, nothing is in stone, but I'm guessing we're talking about getting London Town next. So we will see how that goes. Let's see now. Uh, Hello, Oliver. Hello to Greg. Greg Gardner. How you doing? And yeah, so that's pretty encouraging news. I mean, I didn't think for a minute that we were not going to get any more uh, archives releases from McCartney, but to see it really like official there, that's good. That's comforting to know. Hello to Ali. We got Ali. and was it Oliver and Ollie together in here. So, what's the good word, everybody? Dead Space. Nothing like Dead Space. Yeah, so I'm going to see McCartney, and June 16th. I'm hoping that by going June 16th, Paul's birthday is on June 18th. June 16th is supposed to be the last date of the tour. So, because Paul's turning 80 years old on the 18th, I'm hoping that my show, the 16th, is going to be a birthday bash for Paul. And you never know who might show up. Hello, Danielle E. What's a good word? Yeah, MetLife. I'm going to the MetLife Stadium. It's a big football stadium. I wouldn't be caught dead going into a stadium like that for a football game. That's for sure. I'm a baseball fan for sure. The Mets are doing fantastic this year. I haven't really watched them yet because I'm so busy doing all this other stuff. But I gotta really get. I'm not even familiar with the team, but they're having a great season so far. It's only May. Come on, I know it's only May. I'm not gonna get my hopes up too fast, too high. But of course, those damn Yankees, they're right there. The sons of bitches are right there, giving them a run for their money. So, we have all that kind of stuff. Okay, Greg wants to know, he says, I haven't heard yet. How is Paul's voice so far? Well, it's not to be, a surprise. His voice is not good. There's a lot of YouTube videos on if you're if you're curious enough that you want to see it or hear it. Some of the songs he sings better than others, but I say this. I'm always walking a tightrope as a fan because on the one hand, I want to be completely honest. I don't want to be a sycophant. I don't want to, you know, be too partial or biased in favor of the artists I like. On the other hand, if you start criticizing them, people will say, "Oh, well, you don't know how to be objective." So people say, "Why are you attacking Paul?" Other people say, "Why are you being so permissive and an apologist for him?" I don't think his voice is good anymore, especially live. But the idea is, if you're going to go see Paul, the best thing I can say is, first of all, if it's your first time, if you've never seen Paul before, uh, for any reason, if you're an older fan who's never seen Paul, or even if you're a younger fan, especially you're a young person, you haven't seen Paul before, and you finally got your opportunity, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. You know he doesn't sound that good, but it's an overwhelming experience because you're in the stadium, the energy of the crowd goes crazy, and Paul is there. There he is. It's your first chance to see one of the Beatles. I mean, it's a big deal. But some people have said he sounded great. You know, judge for yourself if you like. The clips are all over YouTube. In 2022, Paul Live 2022, and you can see them. All right, so yeah. Also, I'm trying to work out seeing Ringo because story with Ringo is that still have tickets from 2020. Ringo was supposed to be playing in New York City in 2020, and I have tickets. But then, of course, we know what happened. COVID came. It was June of 2020 that the tickets were for, so he canceled in 2020, rescheduled for 2021. 2021, the situation with the COVID nonsense wasn't much better, so he passed on 2021 also, and now the tickets are supposed to be good for this June. And the date may be my date to go is June 8th. So if things work out the way I plan, I may be seeing Ringo Starr live on June 8th in New York City, and then June 16th, only 8 days later, seeing Paul in New Jersey. That may happen. Okay. Hello, Maca Films 1966. That's a good question. I like different questions sometimes. When was the last time you saw Joan Jett live? Well, I saw Joan Jett, so many times live. I am a big Joan Jett fan, or especially was a big fan in the 80s, really, and the 90s. And I must have seen her, it seems like at least 15 times. And I saw her right up close. I'm talking about going to the shows and going right to the stage. And I'm talking about getting up against the stage and putting your arms on the stage like this, and watching the show like this. That's what I'm talking about. And there's no going back after that. Doesn't matter how good your seats are, they're never as good as that vantage point, up close like that. Anyway, the last time I saw Joan Jett was 2015, I want to say. There was actually a free concert in a park. She was giving a free concert in a park, Eisenhower Park, it was, out on Long Island, and I went there. Yeah, Danielle asks, any choice songs by Paul? Oh well, that's the thing. I made a video. I'm disappointed because it's the same old set list. If it's your first time seeing Paul, you'll love the set list. If you've seen Paul 10 times as I have, that's another reason why I would like to see Paul one more time. Every time people ask me, how many times have you seen Paul McCartney? I say 10 times. And it sounds like a made up number. So yeah, 10, not nine, not 13 or 14. Why 10? Yeah, it's 10. If I see him again, it'll be 11. But choice songs by Paul, you know, there's always songs I'd like him to do. I keep saying I like him to do the song Getting Closer. I think Getting Closer, the rock song from Back to the Egg would be a great opener, but it's not going to happen, of course. I would like to see him try to work out an arrangement of Uncle Albert if he could, but you might need Linda for that. Although the band, I'm sure, can acquit themselves very well. He's got a great band and they sing well. Let me have a little sip of water. There we go. So, okay. And Astro Zombie says you're even in a Joan Jett video. Yeah, I am in a Joan Jett video. If you blink, you'll miss me. It's in a video for Cherry Bomb, and it's from 1985. I'm only 23 years old. I've got a big mustache, but you can see me in there at one point, kind of moving to the music, going like this, fist up like that. And it's in the Cherry Bomb video. If you look it up, it's right after the guitar solo. There's a guitar solo, and just before she sings again, after the guitar solo ends and the new verse comes in, I'm there. You could even see it in the movie Bad Reputation. There's a little clip of it. Okay, let's go. What is your favorite album by the Stones? Well, I like Stones compilations. I like Big Hits, High Tide and Green Grass. My favorite album is probably Big Hits, High Tide and Green Grass, and probably Through the Past Darkly, and probably Hot Rocks. But if I'm going to pick actual albums, just albums, I like the album Out of Our Heads by the Stones. That's one of my favorite. I'm talking about USA albums, Out of Our Heads. And I also like Some Girls, and also I think I would go with Sticky Fingers. Those are probably my favorite albums so far by the Stones. I'm still trying to get all the albums up till probably up to Steel Wheels. I'm not going to go past that. So yeah, Ralph says the song "With a Little Luck" by Paul McCartney. I wonder if that could be done. I really don't even know, but I would love to hear "With a Little Luck." I don't know. James Farley, what's the good word? Hello, Martin McGrath. What's the good word? Martin, you're a good guy. I appreciate your support. Uh, let's see. Lila comes up with some songs. Lila said Wanderlust, Ballroom Dancing, No Values, Caesar Rock, Dominoes, House of Wax would be in my ideal set list. Mine too. I mean, let me tell you, I would love to hear Paul do Wanderlust if he could sing it. And Ballroom Dancing, oh yeah, sure. Another song I'd like him to do off Tug of War would be Take It Away. That would be really good. What do I think about Bill Wyman as a bass player? I don't really notice, to tell you the truth. Very quiet guy. A very quiet guy, but it's funny. I don't pick up on a much incredible bass work when I listen to the Stones. It's weird because I'm looking at myself here on the screen when I'm watching my chat here. I can see that my screen is reversed backwards, but I think you're seeing it straight on. You know, it's like it's a backwards look for me here. Ollie Perry says, "Have you gotten used to retirement and all your free time?" Oh well, I'm definitely used to the idea, as I keep saying, of not having to go to work. That itself is great, but It still feels weird. Like I'm sitting here, it's Sunday morning, and I still have that feeling. Oh, tomorrow's Monday. Monday we got to go to work, and I don't have to go to work. I'm still trying to get used to it. Jack Daniels is asking, who is your favorite soul artist? Oh, I have a lot of those CDs, soul hits of the '70s. There's so many. I don't know if I have one. Any of those black artists, I love them, and all that kind of stuff that's on there. Any of the stuff from the '70s, really, or the '60s. I don't have one. I have many, I would say. Let's see. Hello, Yelly Man. Haven't seen you in a while. Mull of Martin Benches is mentioning Mull of Kintyre. And Mull of Kintyre, um, he's done that before. He doesn't do it very often, but he's done Mull of Kintyre live, Paul. Dane Johnson, any cover songs you'd like to see Paul add to his set list? I could do without the covers only because the time is limited. The amount of set list you can have is limited. I'd rather Paul do all his original stuff, to tell you the truth. Um, that's just how I feel about that. Lila asks, frog chorus, which I despise the frog chorus. We all stand together. I realize it's a kiddie track. I just can't. I don't like the song. As far as Spies Like Us, I love that song. I love good choice there. I'd like to see Paul do Spies Like Us. It's not the most inventive song. It's not the most profound song he's ever done. The lyrics are kind of trite. However, it rocks the roof off, and that's what I want. It's a rock song, and it sounds great. Ralph says you can't go wrong with Motown music. Amen to that. I love Motown. Let's see. What do we got here? Dino, what is your favorite Wings album? It's just tough because my favorite albums are uh, probably Band on the Run, Venus and Mars, and Back to the Egg are my three. Which one is my very favorite? Probably Back to the Egg is my favorite. I love those. If I say favorite, not necessarily the best. Okay, I don't know. I never know how to say your name. LHY 744. What is the maximum you would pay for the concert? I would go like $2,000. Now let me explain. I mean, I have the money. I have money on the side now in the bank that if I wanted to, I could spend 2,000, but I'm not going to. I almost considered it because actually, you know, um, I looked at the tickets for the MetLife show, and for $800, there was a seat right up in the first row at the end. It wasn't in the middle; it was at the end, for the end of the first row. And I thought, well, considering this could be Paul's last show, one of his last shows on June 16th, and considering there's a possibility that he may have guests up there like Billy Joel or maybe Ringo, I have no idea. I don't keep saying that because people are going to run with that and say, "Oh, look at Mayo. He thinks that there's going to be guests." I have no idea. I'm just using my gut on this and thinking about it. Um, if I knew that it was going to be a great show, I'd pay 2,000 to get right up front. You know, if I had the money to spare. I don't always have the money to spare. But if I did, sure. Let's see. Dave Thomas says, I really hope he does Big Barn Bed. That's another song I really like. That would be nice to hear. Yelly Man, and you've been working 6 days a week. Nice to catch the live show again, you say. Thank you. Good to see you here. Okay, Ralph wants to see Paul do his version of Twist and Shout. Not me. TCB Mike wants to know, do you know if there is any Paul McCartney freshen up tour posters out there? Um, yeah, you can find anything online, I'm sure. That's how I do a lot of stuff. James Farley assures me you will get overworking. Believe me, real fast you'll get over it. Oh, I'm overworking. I mean, I'm over the work thing. I am done with that. But I just wanted to feel more. I don't know. like a vacation. I'll tell you one thing. I've been retired since the first day was record store day. My first day of retirement, Saturday of April 23rd, and I have to tell you, the time is going faster. It's going real fast. From April 23rd to May 8th in no time. Boom, like that. Okay, Ali says Paul should do a small venue with a set list of 20 deep cuts for fans who have seen his concert multiple times. I agree. I wish Paul would forget about I got to be Mr. Popular. I got to please everybody. I want everybody to love me and everything. That's fine. But once in a while you say, "Hey, look, I'm just going to do this for me. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to just really be daring. I'm going to get out there and I'm going to do a show purely of songs I've never done before, and people are going to go nuts with diehard fans. Just once, one tour or one show. What do you think about John and Yoko's wedding album? I think nothing of it really. It's unlistenable. It's pretty bad. It's just good as a novelty item, and I do enjoy having the box and opening it up and seeing all the goodies in there. That's fine, but it is a novelty item, really. But I don't listen to it for pleasure. Yoli Man says it's June 16th is the last show on his tour, Paul's tour, and 2 days before his 80th. There's going to be a couple surprises on that show. Are there still tickets available for his birthday show? Yeah. Anybody that's going to the June 16th show, if you see me, walking around, say hello for sure. I'm going to be making a video. The seats are going to be terrible. I'm way up, literally the last row at the top, the back, back. So, but I'm just trying to get in there. So, yeah, I think it's going to be surprises. There were strong rumors that maybe Paul's going to add a birthday show on June 18th. Hope he doesn't do that, but if he does, he does it. What are you going to do? I'm happy to go to the show. I'm happy to go to the show to see Paul on June 16th. I don't want to put this down officially, so anybody has any ideas, whether or not there's guests or not. If there's no guests, that's fine. If he does another show, he adds another show June 18th, that's fine. Yeah, Ralph. He says whether you go to the Got Back show or not, I would say still get the tour program as a souvenir. I agree with you. I think it's very important for a collect. It's a pretty thick tour program and a lot of good stuff in there. Hello, Zach. What's going on? Martin Bench. She says when I saw Paul Live and Let Die was fantastic in 1993. Yeah, 1993 was definitely a good show, no doubt about that. So Nicholas Forbes says, "Hey Joe, haven't seen any videos of you showing a butcher cover. I know you're probably hiding a few dozen around there." No, I don't have any right now. I did make one video where you could look at. It says it's a video called "I Finally Got One." I think it's called "I Finally Got One," and it's me showing a butcher cover. But to be honest with you, the butcher cover that I had wasn't in the greatest shape. There's better ones out there. It was a second state uh, paste over and I can get a better one than that. So, I sold it eventually, but I'll get a better one. Okay. Yeah, Yelly Man says he just watched my video on Paul's voice, and I was talking about the best live albums. And Yelly Man says I think the Amiga gig was fantastic. You and me both. You know, definitely. The Amoeba gig right now. When people ask me what's your favorite Paul McCartney live album, I say the Amoeba gig, for sure. That's the one I go with. And Tom Liverani, I'm sorry if I got your name wrong. Tom Liverani says, "Hope to see you at MetLife, Joe." Yes, indeed. Tom, please say hello. I hope I can remember people's names. Sometimes people say, "Hey, You remember me? And some names I know, like Yelly Man, I'll remember Yelly Man, but some names maybe not, you know? What do I think about Ringo's Star live albums? Well, Ringo is always fun to see because he's full of energy, but a lot of the excitement about seeing Ringo is because he's there with other people, the all stars, you know? And that's part of the excitement of seeing Ringo. It's not just about Ringo, believe it or not. And Ringo himself is the same thing. Ringo only does the same, I don't know, seven, eight, nine, whatever, how many songs he's got all the time. You know, he tried changing it up from time to time, but you know, but it's always fun to see him, you know. I haven't seen Ringo since I think, oh boy, I want to say, was it 2019? I might have seen him in 2019 was the last time I saw him. And even in Ringo's case, even if he does the same songs, it's just fun to see him doing his shtick, you know. Raymond says, "Hi, hey Joe, I'm resting up from COVID. It sucks to get it. Yeah, I wish you well with that. I think you'll be fine. I don't think either. I've never had COVID. I don't want to speak too soon, but I think I my girlfriend and I got COVID at the very beginning. We want to say in February of 2020, because right then and there we knew there was this thing going on, in China, and it was coming over here and this and that. But we both were like sick for a week or two in February of 2020. Then it was gone, you know. So yeah, Yelly Man brings up VH1 Storytellers, the Ringo Starr show. And he says it's the best live album of an ex Beatle, and I agree. I mean, Ringo does a lot of good songs on that, a lot of Beatles songs too. If you can see VH1 Storytellers, it's sometimes available to see. It's a televised show too. It was really good. He does. Oh, I don't know. Don't pass me by. Octopus's Garden, and Beatles, and uh, also his solo hits. That was from 1998, so he was pretty much promoting the Vertical Man album, and he does "King of Broken Hearts," which is a good song that George Harrison played lead guitar on the song. Uh, "King of Broken Hearts." James Peterson, hello, says, "Hi, Joe. Never seen Paul McCartney. Try and get some good pictures to put on your channel. That would be great. The pictures aren't going to be that great because it's going to be way the hell in the back, top row. But I'll do the best I can." Let's see. Do you think that Bob Dylan could do another album? Well, of course. I don't think Dylan's going to stop. And there's no issue with his voice because it's terrible. I mean, Dylan just sounds lousy and that's it. So there's no question. But I say that as a person who likes Dylan. I get Dylan, Greg. You know, I'm fine with Dylan. It's about his lyrics, really. And I like Dylan sounding like Dylan, so I'm okay with it. But of course, I think he's going to keep coming. As long as he doesn't do any more of these American Standards records. I don't need more of those American Standards. Am I going to see Ringo this year? Yeah, well, I'm thinking about that right now. I may see him in a month from today. I might see him June 8th, if possible. Marcus Thompson, one of the few John Lennon fans out there, it seems like. He says, Paul says that his biggest fear is people walking out of a concert, him needing to come up with a song to grab them back in. Is he not confident in the vast majority of his solo output? Yeah, I think Paul is unconfident about a lot of his solo stuff, and apparently over the years it seems like he just really likes to go by what critics say and fans say. Like, in other words, if most people say they don't like Wildlife, Paul writes it off. Most people don't like Press to Play. If he hears that Back to the Egg is like not really well thought of or didn't do as well on the charts as others, he writes it off. You should have more faith in his stuff, other than what people are saying. Let's see. Yeah, Yelly Man wishes they would release Paul's Up Close show. Yes, from 1992 on CD. That was a good show, and I was there for that. Yep, I was at the Up Close show in 1992. Up close, I was only about 6 feet away from Paul, 6 7 feet away from Paul. With that, do you like McCartney Wingspan album? It's okay. It's not my favorite compilation album, and I really hate the fact that it's got an edited version of Junior's Farm on it. But it's not bad. Okay, Zach says I recently picked up Band on the Run on vinyl. I'm happy with it so far. Any thoughts on the record? It's a great album. It deserves to be considered possibly the uh, the best Paul album, the best Wings album. I understand why. The only thing for me is that it's just a little played out. You know, it's kind of played out, uh, but it's a great album. Deserves to be in high esteem, actually. Adam, what's going on, Adam? Here's Adam. Adam I never had to say the name Frascona. Do you have a least favorite All in the Family episode or season? Good question. That's what I like. That's such a different question, Adam. Thank you. Do I have a least favorite? Yeah, the least favorite season is probably season 9. That's the season after Edith is well, no, not Edith is still alive, but they bring that little girl, the kid in there, Stephanie. I never thought she was a good character. That's dull. And Archie mellows out too much. He becomes too much of a nicer guy. But anyway, do I have a least favorite episode? Well, not counting the ones from there, anything from after the 8th season is my least favorite. But there's an episode where let's see, Gloria has a miscarriage. I mean, serious episode like that. I don't like that. And it's an early episode too. That's one. The episode where Edith Bunker gets raped. When they tackle too much serious stuff and not enough comedy. Yeah, that I hate that. Dino says, "How many times did you see Bob Dylan live?" I saw him live twice. First time I saw him was in 1989. He was terrible. He sucked. You couldn't understand anything he was singing. He changed the arrangements of all his songs. Then I saw him a second time in 2013 for the Tempest album, which I think is a great Dylan album. I love Tempest, and he was much better. I enjoyed the 2013 show way more. And Sean Lennon made a surprise appearance there. He wasn't expected, but Sean Lennon did make a surprise appearance. Both of them, both of those shows, '89 and 2013, were both on Long Island, Jones Beach Theater, which is an interesting venue because outdoors are nice. Let's see. Sorry if I missed some of your questions here. Let me just see. Martin says Paul is too rigid with the set list. He should take a leaf out of Dylan's set list. What can Paul's reason for not playing songs from Ram be? Well, yeah, because he plays what he thinks, Joe Sixpack wants to hear. That's why he plays what he thinks people want to hear. And Ram is a great album. I don't know why he doesn't think anybody wants to hear that. But what was my favorite ex-Beatle personal experience? Whoa. Well, obviously the time that I managed to get Paul's autograph, but I would say in 1993, although I didn't get it myself, as I say, he went into the hotel lobby and he signed autographs in the lobby. It was a freezing cold winter day, and he didn't want to come outside, I guess. And when he went in the lobby, but then signed, we gave our stuff to his assistant, and uh, it was handed back to us. That was probably best. Let's see. Uh, Oliver is asking if you were to give advice to a new Beatles fan, what album, group, or solo would you recommend? Well, if they're trying to get new to the group, I always say start with the Beatles one, and then also you want to listen to Revolver and the White Album and Abbey Road. I tell them the one album, Revolver. White Album, and Abbey Road. That's a good start. You get all the early hits on the one, and some later hits too, of course. You get a lot of the number ones there, and then you get to hear, the albums where they're really changing and stuff. And there's a lot of variety on the White Album. And because I don't think I would tell, even though I love the early stuff, I don't think I would tell them, "Oh, you start off with the Please Please Me album, or start off with Beatles for Sale." No, I don't think I would do that. Do I like Archie Bunker's Place? No, Christopher. I tried Archie Bunker's Place many times. I'm trying to think of the right term. It's all in the family light. It's kind of like castrated Archie Bunker. I don't know what else to say. It's just not. Just a young Beatles fan. Hello, wants to know, ever seen any of the All in the Family spin-offs like Maude and the Jeffersons and so forth? Yes, I have. Although I think B. Arthur is pretty good as a character of Maude. I don't think the show is as good as it could have been. I do like the Jeffersons. I think the Jeffersons was really, really good. Yeah. RJB says, any whisperings about a good, comprehensive George greatest collection? It's a crime that one doesn't exist. No, nothing else coming. There's a lot out there, a few out there, but none of them really nail it. I think a really good George compilation that's official. I mean, there's some good unofficial copies out there, but to get an official one that's really good, yeah, I think that's still to be seen. Let's see. Hello, Darren Gamble. Yeah, I joke around now. He says, "Please sing the Rolling Stones," and I say, "You got to give me a tip for that." It's not something I want to promote too much because it's not really, it's tasteful to do it. But if anybody wants to make a donation to the channel, a tip, as they say, there is a new feature down there. Well, not I, you know, it's been there for a while, but I've enabled it. Um, Now Daniel is talking about Taxi, the Taxi theme by Bob James. I know. I mean, I just watched 2 episodes of Taxi last night. I'm currently going through the whole series of Taxi. You know, so had John lived, what musical direction would you foresee him going in? He was into new wave and was supposed to meet up with Debbie Harry. It's impossible, Marcus, to say that, because we don't know. We tend to just know the last thing that, like you said, that John talked about. We don't know if John would have got into rap. Yoko seems to think John would have liked rap. I hope not. But who knows? Who knows? There really is no tell. Grunge? I don't know. John being into grunge? Because we really don't know. Martin wants to know what's the most overrated Beatles song. There are no bad Beatles songs as far as I'm concerned. Let's see. But as far as overrated goes, what does that mean? Songs that people they think are great, that they're not really great. I know a lot of people think it's all too much is really a great Beatles song. I think that's kind of overrated in that sense. Um, like all the song, like something like Yesterday is not overrated. Something like Yesterday to me is just overdone, overplayed. You know what I mean? There's a difference between overplayed and overrated. It deserves to be highly rated because it is a really good, you know, song. It's a classic. I just find it overplayed, which is a difference. Yep, yep, yep. I'm reading some comments here. Yeah. Adam is asking me, have you seen the original Sanford and Son, which was Steptoe and Son with Wilfred Bramble? No, I haven't. I love the show Sanford and Son. I think Red Fox was really funny, and his son, played by Demond Wilson, they really had a good rapport together. But I've never seen the original. I have no interest really. You know. Yeah, Mark. You're not going to see me in the audience, but I did a video. If you want to look at a video, I don't know the name of it. I think it's when I got up close to see Paul. Getting up close to see Paul in 1992. If you do a search and try to find my video on that, I show you where I point to me on the screen where I am. Now you got to understand a couple of things. First of all, I'm only 5'6", so I'm not that tall. Secondly, I was about 100 pounds lighter than I am now. Okay, so I was thin, and I had long dark hair, and I'm wearing a black leather jacket. I don't know if Paul would appreciate that, but and most of what you see is from the back. We're photographed from the back. Paul's on front on the stage, and you see our backs. But there are some cutaways where you can see uh, the camera goes behind the drummer, and you see Paul from the back, and you see some faces in the front, and I you can see my face, but it's hard to spot me. You won't be able to watch and say, "Oh, there's Joe." You know what I mean? But watch my video, and then you'll be able to see it. You're sending me a postcard. Shocking blue. Okay, best Vietnam tune ever. Greetings from the Netherlands. Thank you very much. Has there been an official Tim Madone says, has there been an official DVD Blu-ray release of the US version of Yellow Submarine? Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. No, wait a minute. The one that's out is the UK one, I think. Why would anybody want a US one? The UK one is really the one you need. It's more complete. Hello, Beatly Tone. Beatly Tone's Beatles channel says Yoko was far more influenced by new wave punk than John. Her songs on side one of Double Fantasy show that. Yes, indeed. But John did like Blondie. He said it, and the Pretenders and Blondie and stuff. He did mention that in amongst his last interviews. Martin McGrath says the song "Yesterday" is like a beautiful piece of steak burnt to a crisp. Yeah. Zombies favorites. Well, the zombies I only know the three hits. Time of the season, tell her no, and she's not there. So I really need to hear more zombies. And I have a zombies album that I bought recently. When I get to that one, we'll hear that. Adam wants to know, Joe, do you like or appreciate flicks, movies, films? Sure do, but zombie movies too. They're also played out now, man. Oh, too much zombie stuff. As far as the zombies, the Walking Dead stuff. See, I agree with you. Yelly Man says that's a good point. He says if you've been close to Paul once in a concert, you don't have to do it again. He says I've been right on front of the stage on both of my Paul concerts, but if I see him again, I don't need to be in front of the stage. I agree. That's another thing. I've already been right up there. I won tickets to that up close TV taping in 1992, and I don't need to be that close again. So, hello, Padge. Padge is popped up here. Oh my God, it's Mother's Day. I forgot. Thank you so much, online assistant. I'm gonna have to call my mom. In fact, I usually would have called her about 10 o'clock. I'm an hour late, but wow. But I have my mother and I'm gonna call her. I had sent her a card. I will call her. Wow, thank you very much. Holy cow. Uh wow. That means I'm glad you said that. Let's see. Yeah, I know Odyssey and Oracle is what I always hear is a great album. Gabriel Geller says, "Did you enjoy the Get Back documentary?" Yes, I did. And if you like, I mean, you can check on my channel. I did three videos on it. I did part one, part two, and part three. Overall, enjoyed it very much. Um, Hello, Mo. Mo says, "Hello, Joseph. Let me know when you've done the top 10 Little Rascals video because the notification of YouTube is not working. I really got to get that rolling. I'm going to try to do it in this week or next. You know." Christopher asked me any thoughts on the Police and favorite albums. I don't like the Police. Is that going to shock you? I don't like the Police. I don't like the Police because it's too complicated. I'm not a big fan, but all I can tell you is I remember I didn't like the Police much. I mean, I like some of the songs, Roxanne, "Don't Stand So Close to Me," "Do Da Da Da," that kind of stuff. However, I remember when I was going to work on a morning in 1983, and I was driving my car, and I heard this wonderful new song, first time ever hearing it, "Every Breath You Take," and I thought, "This is the best, great song. This is going to be a classic song. This is going to be a number one hit. It's going to be one of the most popular songs of all time." And I remembered that song, and that day after work, as soon as I punched out, I got in that car and I drove to Sam Goody and I bought that 45, "Every Breath You Take," one of the greatest singles ever made. And the reason I liked it was, to me, it was nothing like the other Police songs. You know, the other Police songs, they just do that thing where they have the beginning. Dun, 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 there is no political dun, 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 and we don't blah, 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 dun, 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 dun. Start the damn song already. And finally it's don't stand, don't stand on message in a bottle. They do that. It's that same format, that same damn format that they do. But anyway, as much as I loved Every Breath You Take and bought the single that day, that same day, it's another song I'm tired of, isn't it? Because that song is really played out. But okay, let's see now. Did I spot a few familiar faces and get back? Yes. Uh Yelly man, if you want me to sing Take On Me, you have to give me a donation. I'm sorry, but some things now you gotta pay for. Because first of all, you're a big fan of Aha, and I gotta tell you, nobody cares about Aha, Ellie, man. Nobody gives a nobody knows anything except "Take on Me," and this is the only place where I ever hear anybody talking about it is when you come on and make a comment. So, let's see. Well, no, The Walking Dead. No, Adam, I don't really watch The Walking Dead. When I say I'm kind of zombied out, uh, I'm talking about just the movies too. I've seen a few episodes of The Walking Dead, but I never, surprisingly enough, never really was a big addict to watching it. You would think I would like it. Let's see. Hello, High Res. What's going on? Yelly man, that's not really, I mean, it's not a nice thing to say about Phil Collins. Yeah, I know the song wrapped around your finger. It's okay. It's one of the better songs. Hey, B-sides. Hey, is your name Jenny? I forget. B-sides. It's good to see you here. That's nice of you to be here. Um, I have not seen Paul live yet. I'm gonna go. I have tickets now. People just joining. I have tickets finally that I am going to see Paul on June 16th, and I hope that it's going to be really emotional seeing that John Lennon clip in the back. Sorry, I hit the cough button. Yelly Man reminds us that the group Aha has sold 100 million records, yet nobody's talking about them. Nobody cares about them. So I don't care how many million records they sold. You're the only guy I've ever heard in my life talking about them, to be honest with you. So I'm being honest with you. I tried to, I've been handling you really well here, buddy. We've been friends. But good morning to Laureen Smith Arena. Good morning. Good morning. Do I have a favorite track from All Things Must Pass? It's probably My Sweet Lord, probably. But there's so many. There were so many. Beware of Darkness. Isn't it a pity? What is life? Okay. Where are you? Bill Sharkey is here. The seats that I have are nosebleed seats. They are the worst seats you could possibly have. That's the only bad thing. But that's why they got video screens. I know you can stay home and watch them on a video screen, but you can't get that energy of the crowd from home. Uh, yeah, Major Jackson says he's heard that there's London Town and Back to the Egg merch at Paul's concerts. Well, It's going to be those coasters I like to get. you know, back to the egg coaster would be nice. So yeah, Alan Williams is in. Also, Martin says Alan Williams and Ivan Vaughn are in the Get Back documentary. I don't remember Ivan Vaughn, but I remember Alan Williams. Also, you also have Mike McCartney. Paul's brother Mike is makes an appearance, and so does Patty Harrison makes an appearance. This in there. Yep, yep, yep. Hello, Penny Lane. You're in my ears and eyes. What's going on? Okay, everybody, we're here for a little while longer. I got a little bit of time left, and what's on your so-called minds? Yeah, Mo's never heard of Aha. Uh, just having fun with Yelly Man. All right, everybody. So what's going on? What's a good word? It's Mother's Day. I got to call my mom as soon as I get off this chat. So, did I see Bohemian Rhapsody? No, no, no. I did not see Bohemian Rhapsody. Uh, Not interested. Wild one. Bobo wants to know how much did you pay for the Paul tickets? I paid $134 plus a $75 service fee, so $200 or so. And as I say, uh, people a lot of times they say the tickets are so expensive. $200 is not expensive these days for a concert ticket. I'm sorry. You don't have to spend $500, $2,000. You can get by with $150 or what? 200. Martin Bench is asking early kinks or late kinks. The answer to that is both, I guess. I mean, I guess I prefer the earlier kinks. However, I love some of the stuff. I love Come Dancing from the '80s. I love Don't Forget to Dance. I love Superman from the '70s, and Catch Me Now I'm Falling. So I like different kinks stuff. Behind that locked door is another great song from All Things Must Pass. Will I go to the meet and greet? I wish there was a meet and greet that I could go to and afford. I'd love to do that. Let's see. Danielle's mentioning Donovan and the Young Rascals. I like both. But I'm trying to see what we're talking about. All right, folks. I'm just going to take a moment to look at the phone here. I just want to. Yeah, I went to a sound check once. It really wasn't really good. Hey, there he is. Robert S. He says, I'm looking at Jimmy Buffett tickets for August, and they're $100 for nosebleeds. Jimmy Buffett. Yeah, I just want to see what's going on here, if I may. All right. Okay. So I'm going to be heading over to the record store after I get off this live stream. I'm going to do two things. I'm going to call my mom first for Mother's Day, and then I'm going to go over and go to the record store. Probably get some breakfast before that, even. You know, but what is a meet and greet? A meet and greet is when you pay extra money to have a VIP treatment, and supposedly you get to go. You pay extra money to go to the sound check for the show, and also you may actually be able to get to meet the celebrity for a moment too. So I really wish that was, the case that I could do that. Ah, Yelly Man says, I will make a donation to you when I get my salary. Hey, if you, I'm afraid of that, Yelly Man, because if you do that, I can't tease you anymore. If you're paying, I can't, can't tease you anymore. Jason King assures me that Aha are brilliant, loads of hits. I'll take your word for it. Oh, thank you, Yelly Man. Uh, you say that ABBA, you see, ABBA and Queen are two massive bands who never really made in the U.S. Yes, they did. What are you talking about? They were big in the U.S. ABBA and Queen, and they did have a lot of hits, though. I mean, well, look, I don't know. You say that the group Aha has a lot of hits. I'll take your word for it. I only know of "Take on Me," and if I do sing "Take on Me," I only know that line. So, okay. Thank you very much, RJB. I appreciate that. Yeah, my girlfriend right now is not well, but she's going through uh a challenge, but it's going well. It's going well right now. So Jerome says, Mr. Mayo, great rant about the bathroom toilet paper. Yeah, I have some rant videos too, you can see where I'm like fed up with certain things that annoy me. And yeah, toilet paper is one of them in public restrooms, unbelievable. Oh, that's right. Aha did a James Bond song. I think Garbage even did one, I think, right? Oh, I don't remember. Yeah, The Living Daylights is for me, one of the worst Bond films, and I don't even remember the song, to tell you the truth. Yes, indeed. Okay, anybody else? What's the good word? Ba-dum, ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-dum, The bird is the word. A lot of times you see Thunderbird. Well, that's right. The song Rubber Ball. I say, people have to pay me to sing, and then other people can pay me to stop singing. That's a two punch. Somebody made that up. I forget who, and it was funny. Where do I see the future of music? In the toilet. No, and what can I tell you? Music. I don't see. It's been terrible for a long time. Yeah, I know there's good songs out there. Oh, lather, rinse, repeat. The same dialogue back and forth. Oh, there's good music out there. You just got to look for it. Don't go by the top 40. That's garbage. But there's a lot of good. I believe that. I know there's good music out there. I know I've heard some of it, but it's just hard to find it. And I'm not interested at this age to go looking for it. You know, when I was growing up, it was just there at the flick of a dial. Anything you heard was pretty good overall. Mm, I do not have the Monkeys complete series DVD. I'm thinking of getting around to that, and also I'm thinking of getting the Adam West Batman on Blu-ray at some point. Yeah. Hi, Bobby Bannerman. Jerome says here, his voice is shot. How can he give a concert with his voice so bad? A money grab? Although people like to say Paul's looking for money with his concerts, Paul doesn't need the money. Paul's always been about he needs the attention. He likes the adoration. He likes to entertain. He likes people to like him, and I think he needs that constant attention. Believe me, the money is just icing on the cake for Paul. You know, I don't believe I've heard of Florence and the Machine. No, so well, folks, I'm thinking of getting on now with the day. And that's it. Another installment of Catch Up with Mayo comes to a close. So I want to thank everybody for being here. And I'll be doing more of these. I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to have like a set time for these. I'm going to do like a certain time, or am I going to just do whenever I just feel like doing it? I think different times enable different people to come on. People from England can come on if I do it like now, early enough in the day as opposed to doing it late at night, U.S. time. So, and Jonas just had one last thing about the Johnny Depp trial. I don't really have any thoughts on that. I haven't seen much of it. I don't know who's right or wrong or anything in that. You yes, maybe I will see Robert S. later. That would be nice. All right, everybody. Thanks for being here. And it's a pleasure as usual. Talk soon.